We're going to transition to the early game, Sunday, 1 o'clock. Browns visiting the Cowboys. I had the Cowboys +5 against the Seahawks the other day. And honest to God, they had the ball. They had a first down with about 4:37 left in the game. And somewhere in the 20 to 30-yard line, close to the red zone, down 30-28. And how Mike McCarthy caused 3 passing plays to run off 30 seconds and then kick a field goal and give Russell Wilson 4 minutes to score a touchdown. That's fireable to me. Maybe that's the kind of mood I'm in today. But that was disgusting.
I mean, the worst part for you is that you have back-to-back weeks now involving the Seahawks that the 2-point conversion has decided your bet. So that's brutal beat. From my perspective, I think the Cowboys are still being a little overvalued here. That people are seeing their offense, are seeing their weapons, are seeing how good they're doing, how every game Dak is putting up these crazy numbers. But I feel like to everyone, they're just losers. They have loser mentality. They lose these games. And they got gifted one by Atlanta. We saw how bad Atlanta is now. And I think Cleveland, I hate Baker. I think he's incredibly overrated. And he makes terrible decisions for a third-year player. I don't know how he hasn't improved, which is hard. It's hard to say because I used to love his personality and what he was going to bring to the NFL because he's cocky and he's funny. And the stuff he does is like, when he's winning, is comical. But when he's losing, he looks like a clown. And the public, I'm looking at the numbers right here, the public are all over the Cowboys. And I had this number at 3. So 4.5, I love the value of the Browns, especially with their two-headed monster in the backfield. If they come in with a game plan of just running it and Baker might throw it 15 to 20 times to Odell and Landry, I love them to keep this game close or even win for Cleveland. This is an everything game for the Cowboys. And the fact that the Browns have back-to-back wins, that's my biggest reason for pausing here and saying, do I really want to back the Browns after 2 wins when they're going against a desperate team? So we don't have to put that one in, but I am going to be on the Browns side.
I'm so glad you said we don't have to put that one in because when we started talking about this, I'm thinking, if he's going to tell me I got to bet the Browns as part of my chance to win $1 million, I will puke right now.
No, I won't do that to you.
But you are going to bet on him.
I'm going to take that number out. I'm sure it's going to go up as the week goes along here. But there's just a really good value on the Browns here that they'll be able to keep it close, especially running against Dallas, who they're giving up yards in chunks, especially in their secondary on easy passes. So I like the matchup here for the Browns.
All right, we got to skip the next one because it's Titans Steelers. So let's go to Saints-Lions. Saints 4-point favorites at home against the Lions. Dude, we got to, like, both of these teams make me sick. I bet against the Lions this week. I bet on the Saints this week. They look like they're a mess. The Lions look like they're still a mess. If anything, I think you're probably getting value on the Saints, but if you got an opinion on this that is going to sway me, sway me.
Yeah, and I can't fault anyone for betting the Saints in this game just because the Lions needed 2 picks from Murray at the 50 and 1 run all the way back to about the 30 just to be in that game and get that win. So they obviously had a lot of things break right for them in that last game. And you're right. The Saints might be very undervalued here. But it's hard for me to take Drew Brees right now where back-to-back weeks, this guy cannot go downfield. He's doing all this underneath stuff, which, hey, might be working. I mean, Kamar is a freak. He's turning these little dump-offs into touchdowns. So I'm with you that we can leave this one out, but I'll be on the Lions side come game time.
Seriously? All right. Well, maybe we're going to – go ahead. We might have to revisit.
Yeah, like I don't feel good about it. It's the same like feeling I had last week with the Giants. Like I hate doing it, but it's like these are the positions I have to take because I have to trust the numbers saying that this team's being overvalued, and that's where you're getting the values on the Lions.
Where do you power rate this game right now?
So I had it at 3.5, and I think it opened at 3.5, but it's up to 4.5 now. So this is one of those where if I do bet it, I'm going to bet very small lines because I hate Matt Patricia and I hate backing him. Like I end up switching to them before kickoff, just because all the money. I think Darren was going to tweet it out. It was like 94% on DraftKings was on the Cardinals. So that was just one of those where, all right, the guys in Vegas that they're reading this one, that they're saying all the values on the 5.5. I'm just gonna buy on the 5.5. So I got lucky with that one, but it's another one of those weeks where the Lions, they need this win here just to stay afloat in their division, because right now they have two teams that are 3-0. So we'll see come game time which side we'll end up on.
Well, speaking of 3-0, we're going to skip the Vikings and the Texans, and I apologize to people, but like the Vikings facility is shut down right now. We have no idea what's going to happen with that game. So markets are sort of in flux there. It's like I can't even prescribe anything for this game. Neither should you, just because we just don't know what's going to happen with the Vikings and Texans. So the Colts are visiting the Bears. The Bears are 3-0. Nick Foles, the greatest quarterback who ever lived, is getting his first start against Phillip Rivers, a quarterback that makes you more sick to bet on than maybe Daniel Jones. This game it's open to pick. Right now, the Colts are 2.5-point favorites. Dude, how are we not going with the Bears in this game? This is a no-brainer.
I do love the Bears. I love Nick Foles. The biggest pause with this one is that it's not that I bet the Bears 3 weeks straight, but I pretty much have. Is that like every week I've been cool with us taking the Bears in here because I've liked the value all 3 weeks. And once again, I like this value where I have the Bears at -1. So we're getting a full 3.5 when it's at 2.5 right now, the value to me. And I think people keep forgetting that Rivers, he's going to turn it over. This man takes risk. Last week I saw that whole game because I had a decent amount on the Colts money line, and they literally didn't run. They might have ran 6 plays against the Jets. That's how much they don't respect the Jets. They knew that they could just run their base offense, not show anything, and they were going to get an easy win in that game. So I'm with you. I'm good with backing the Bears here, and I'd be cool with putting them in. We'll just have to wait and see because I want to get more info on the Bears because I know that Cohen went down for you guys, the Tyreek Cohen. You guys lost the running back. So I just want to wait and see what their other injury report were for the Bears.
I don't know why you say you guys. I don't know what would make you say you guys as I point to the Bears banner hanging over my left shoulder right now. But I'm with you. Like, this team is going to be criminally undervalued. And I honestly think the market, like the bookmakers, are overvaluing not just Phillip Rivers, but the Colts defense, which obviously is playing amazing. And they had 26 fantasy points this past weekend. Like at one point on the Red Zone, Scott Hansen reported that they had the 9th most fantasy points of anybody on Sunday. But it's a lot of yardage. Like, it's a lot of fancy stats and like superficial stats. And so give me the Bears +2.5 at home. Give me Nick Foles, baby. I'm with you. Chargers +7.5. We're still in the 1 p.m. games. Chargers +7.5. Visiting the Buccaneers. This game has popped by 3 points since it opened. It opened at $4.5. A lot of money and a lot of bets coming in the Bucs.
I like the Chargers here going in just because it's a high number. And we talked last week when we were talking about Carolina is that the Chargers aren't going to get blown out. They're a team that's going to be able to keep these games close. But when will these injuries catch up to them? Because they just lost Chris Harris. So now they're down their best corner. Luckily, the Bucs lost not luckily, but they lost Godwin. So that kind of cancels each other out. I'm still going to take the Chargers here. I just have less confidence. But I do like the number of 7.5 against a Buccaneers team that just blew out a team. So I'm going to back the road dog here that just lost at home in the Chargers.
Do we like it enough to contest it?
I wouldn't. I kind of want to, but it's like, am I getting too smart here? This feels like Washington all over again. It's like, am I getting too smart for our contest?
I can promise you, there's no chance of you and I together ever getting too smart.
I don't know. My brother just got your book, a New York Times bestseller. And
which New York Times bestseller? Which bestseller? Because there's 4
the one
of them.
reminded you the odds.
Hey, I wrote that one too.
And I said, yeah, Chad just has them all stacked in his garage, and he just personally mails them out to people. He's a good guy. Good guy, Chad.
Oh my God, I can't. I'm gonna get a royalty check for that. That's pretty nice. Tell your brother thanks.
I will.
Really appreciate that. And tell your brother if you win $1 million, you will happily give him the $2.50 that I get in royalties for that.
I'll do him one better. I'll try to get it signed from you. It's the least you can do, right?
Oh my God, it's totally the least I can do. It's so nice that someone's asking me to sign books instead of Scooch. Whoever that guy is who keeps coming after us on Twitter that says bring back Scooch, Scooch isn't signing books anymore. Now I'm signing books.
Yeah, come on, guy.
All right, so let's walk away from the Chargers. Let's not get too smart. Ravens on the road, tough showing last night. Minus 12.5 against the Washington football team. So it's not really a road game. They're driving half an hour. They're probably all staying at home on Saturday night. Too much for me.
Yeah, and just like everything we do on this podcast, everything we love slowly dies. So we ended up killing Lamar's MVP, and we killed Kyler Murray's MVP. So that was nice by us. I'm gonna take the Ravens here. Like the comments from Haskins, the comments from Rivera, it just seems like they're a team that's like, this guy ain't it. We're already sick of this, and now you got the Ravens coming in really pissed off, embarrassed. I mean, Lamar's comments last night were frightening when he said that the Chiefs did the exact same thing that the Titans did on defense to them to stop them. And in my mind, you guys were getting 10 yards a clip. Your offensive coordinator, for some reason, started passing the entire game when you're getting 10 yards a clip on the ground. So I love the bounce back spot here for the Ravens, but like you just said, it's a big number, so we can put that on the side.
We're not gonna put that in the contest. There's no way. However, Cardinals, Panthers. It's like we got to make a Sophie's choice here because it's our favorite team, the Cardinals, against our favorite team, the Panthers. We have backed both of them every single week. So how do we choose between our two loves?
Yeah, well, I faded the Panthers week one just because their defense was so young. But yeah, I've been on them last 2 weeks, and this is another – not that it feels like a trap spot because people might be down on the Cardinals because they just looked really bad at home. But I like the Cardinals here. I like them to bounce back against a really bad defense. And I know Teddy can sling it. He can keep teams in games. But he struggled last week in the red zone, and he struggled the week before in the red zone and the week before. So it's 3 straight weeks now that I've seen him struggling in the red zone. Where Kyler, when he gets down there, he usually puts it away. So I'm going to be back on the Cardinals this week, even though I know that's going to be a public play.
You know what? I'm 100% with you. And I think we're getting value here. I think this is a public perception play in that I actually think the line hasn't moved at all. And maybe you're telling me something and without saying it. I don't know where you have this power rated, but the Panthers are as high as they're going to get right now. And the Cardinals as low as they've been all season. So I got to be getting value. I don't even know how you power rated this. Tell me what you did.
So I had this at Cardinals 5.5, and it opened, I believe, at 4. And it's so the Sharps came in and they hit this Panthers line because it's down to 3.5, despite 71% of the bets being on the Cardinals. So I get their angle that they think the Panthers could keep this close against a team on the Cardinals that looked sloppy last week. But I think they're just undervaluing still Kyler Murray and what he can do.
So we're going to be in the Cardinals. That's what I'm thinking.
Let's put him in.
All right, right now we got 2 teams we love. And by the way, it's the same 2 teams we love every week.
Yeah.
The Bears and the Cardinals. We are like so predictable, awful. Bears and Cardinals. Because the other team we love right now that we talked about was the Browns. I don't know if we'll get there. Jags, next 1:00 game. Jags +3, visiting Cincinnati. This is a total like yak fest. And when I mean yak fest, I don't mean talk. I mean like disgusting puke fest.
And I was shocked last week where the news came out that DJ Chark wasn't going to play for Jacksonville. And I didn't really think that was going to affect the Jags as much as it did. But it seems like Minshew must use him as a safe out where they had guys open, but Minshew was panicking instead of just staying on the course, looking downfield and hitting these guys. And everything I've seen from Burrow, I've been impressed. That Eagles game, as an Eagles fan, was, I mean, it's top 5 worst thing I've experienced since we've won the Super Bowl. He's tough. I mean, he's taking big hits, and he's getting up. And I think he maybe sat one play out because he got knocked the heck out. But he's really proven to me, and it's 3 weeks he's covered. So I'm not going to take the Bengals here because they're due for regression. I mean, them going 4-0 ATS, it wouldn't be shocking. But the line keeps going from 3 to 3.5. If it goes to 3.5, I'll back the Jags here.
Okay, but we don't have to back the Jags, right?
No, I don't want to put that. I don't want to be sweating this.
Because you know what I do want to sweat? I want to sweat the Dolphins at plus 6.5. Right now, the Seahawks visiting the Dolphins, the Seahawks are getting 80% of the tickets. So what we are getting right now is a classic road favorite getting 80% of the money. Like, these are bets that pay. You bet them over the long haul, they pay. Please don't talk me off of this. Please don't talk me off of the Dolphins at plus 6.5. I love Brian Flores. I want to bet this team so badly.
I do too. And I love the fact that the Seahawks, like we were just talking about, they're 3-0 ATS. And these kind of teams against the spread, they're going to drop some. Vegas isn't here just to give out free money. There's no teams that go 16-0. Most teams hit a point where they're going to go 10-6, 9-7. That's the norm for ATS because there's always these fluke teams. Like I think last year the best covering team were probably the Ravens and Miami. And I think Miami was like 10-6, and the Ravens, whatever they were 13-3, I think, against the spread. So there's always these teams that can be fluky with it, and like I'm always like on the lookout for those kind of teams where the Seahawks keep covering these numbers they shouldn't be covering. They've had a lot of fortune early on here, and if it's true that Adams is out for this game, that's a huge, huge hit to an already very bad secondary. And we've had 3 straight weeks where the Seahawks defense has been lit up. And what we've seen from Fitzmagic is he's in a good mode right now. I mean, that Thursday night game, I think he had like 3 incompletions. The guy was literally in a mode. Yeah. So I'd be good with backing the Dolphins here. I want to wait on the injury report because, like I said last week, they were down their best corner in the Miami. That's a big deal against Russ. But this is just screams backdoor, and I really do like the Dolphins here. I wish it would go back to 7, but I'd be cool with the 6.5.
I agree with you 100% on everything you just said. This team's going to play hard. Fitzpatrick is in a mind meld with his receivers right now, and that back door will be open. And the Seahawks are just winning in a way and covering in a way that feels like impossible to maintain. The only person who can maintain that is Ryan Fitzpatrick covering the back door every week himself. And I think Ryan Fitzpatrick, he's the man for me.
I mean, it is scary because we're going against Mr. Unlimited, but I don't know, man. I can't keep backing the Seahawks here. Like they have to slip up, and this is just a perfect spot for them to slip up. An early game down in hot Florida. So I like this a lot for the Dolphins.